Hello, and I'm Dr. Glenn Shepard, and appreciate you watching my video on elimination of grades. Yes, that's right, you heard it. I said we need to eliminate all grades in schools. Okay, you might think, okay, he's a nutcase or whatever, but I have over 50 years experience in school systems, teaching every grade level. I have been a university professor for 30 plus years, and I would like to share my ideas of how we can change schools in the world. And one of the things we need to do is get rid of grades. Okay, and I'll explain why in this video, why it's important that we do that. Because I have been espousing how we need to transform human consciousness by designing schools and designing our society in such a way that we promote freedom, love, and joy. So, this is a serious thing I'm proposing here. And it's from an educator of over 50 some years. And I hope you take it seriously. What is the purpose of grades? It's a good question. It's supposed to be competition and motivation, right? Promote that sort of competition and motivation. Now, I did make another video on the history of education. You should watch that because our children and we have been pretty much indoctrinated, you could even say, into believing a lot of things that business, government leaders want us to believe. Okay, and the purpose of grades is very very questionable to begin with. Okay. What do grades do, though? Well, they does create a lot of competition for kids, a lot of stress. It creates failure, okay? Because if you don't make the grade, you fail, okay? And how do you feel if you're a child and you worked, you thought you did, and you still seem to be failing? It stresses a lot of children out, and that's not what schools are about. Schools are about helping children to grow and become adults and be able to handle life, a whole lot of things, and have the skills to do all these things, not to freak them out, and look at the mental problems that so many people in the society have. It has a lot to do with the environment we put our children into and the stress, and it's not necessary, okay? It also just emphasizes the idea of knowledge is so important. Well, we have computers, it pops knowledge in. Well, you have to have certain knowledge in your own brain. I know that too, but just not knowledge of facts and figures without understanding. If you don't have higher level thinking of understanding and how to use that knowledge and how to apply it, and create new things, then it's not good enough. Okay, so the grades are limiting actually to the knowledge level, pretty much. So that's not good. It meets the needs of the businesses, maybe, but not all the businesses today, because actually businesses need more problem solvers and people who can work in collaborative groups and brainstorm, and so it's not really meeting the needs of business as it used to, because they wanted complacent people in factories and not having too much more than knowledge, not questioning what's going on, right? So the example I'd like to bring out is William Glasser, who is a educator and psychologist who's written quite a bit, and back in the 70s and 80s, and But he had a reality theory, and it was based on what humans need uh, in their lives for satisfaction and good psychic health or whatever you might say. And its survival was on the top of the list. Like you got to be able to survive, and then freedom, and then power. Okay, love, and then fun. Okay, those are the 5 things that he had identified. You see, that's very close, though. I've said freedom, love, and joy is those basics, and that's pretty much the same thing. Because freedom and survival, to be free, you have to be able to survive. We talked about the human basic biological needs that people have. To have power is more like your ego. You have ego. You want power, so that is part of the dynamics. And then love and belonging. He actually said love and belonging. And then fun is joy. Being happy. So that's William Glasser's reality theory 50-some years ago, or whatever. And then he also wrote a book called Schools Without Failure. Of course, he's written dozens of books, but Schools Without Failure explains how a school can not have grades, not have, all these conventions that we use. And it uses a mastery learning approach where students just learn and master skills, and they continue, and there's no failure involved. They just continue to master skills, and they use portfolios to show what they've done, right? And that's an example I'd like to bring out. Another was schools without grades or grade levels. We don't need grade levels either. I have a first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade. What's the point in that, really? People say, well, you got to have benchmarks. Well, no, really, those are manufactured. There's Montessori schools, Waldorf schools, the Friend schools. I've taught in a Friend school, and they don't have grades or grade levels in any of these schools. And they've done great for many, many years, okay? And there's other schools around that don't have grades. And what I did as a teacher in a Friend school is we'd have for 3 years, they come in what would normally about be 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, but we just said they're, year 1, 2, and 3, and then they move on. But we gave portfolios, though, when we sat down with parents for showing evaluation of student progress, and we had a portfolio of, we could talk about, we did tests here and there of how well they mastered things, or projects they did, assignments they completed, and if they everything they did, if it was projects they were working on or whatever, it was documented in portfolios how well they did and all this type stuff, but it wasn't graded, you see, and they never felt graded or pressured, but they learned from the process, and the parents got valuable feedback. Right now, a grade said, hey, oh, okay, you're happy, but how much real feedback does that give you about how well your child is doing in other areas other than just the grade, the knowledge? And so it also helps promote higher level thinking, because it's not so concerned about the knowledge level and the grade, type thing, but it promotes the idea that teachers are promoting, and children are understanding that they need to learn to, create and problem solve and evaluate on their own, and all, higher level thinking skills, and also any kind of other kind of skills that children need, as far as self-directed learning and how well they get along with others, or their own motivation to learn, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And there are plenty of colleges as well that use portfolios. So it's many examples that I could give, but there are several that don't use grades. Okay. So what does that mean for us is basically we can redesign schools. And, this is what I have out several videos is about, that I have videos on how to create constructive schools through using the instructional design process. And we can use our goals for making sure that every student needs are met. You see, that's what we have to do. And that their needs are to have freedom and to have love and the joy are their basic needs. And we can redesign schools, but we don't need grades. The grades are to be eliminated completely. They won't be part of the discussion anymore. Okay, so if you would like, join me at my Freedom, Love, and Joy channel on YouTube, and please subscribe. Appreciate your support. And my website's at freedomloveandjoy.com, and I have 2 books out on Amazon.com, Transformation of Human Consciousness by Design and Freedom, Love, Joy Movement. Okay, thank you, and appreciate you watching. Right, bye.